Well, hello and welcome. It's Warren here. So I wanted to do a video today about foraging in town. So I was going to take you around. I'm out walking my dog, and I wanted to show you some of the things I find when I'm out walking my dog, because there's a lot of stuff you can find just around your town that you can eat, you know. So wild edibles, I guess they're wild, but anyway, edibles in town. So let's go and find some stuff to eat. Yay! So right off the bat, we don't even have to go very far. But what do we have here? Let's see if I can get this. Got some raspberries right there. These ones are kind of... Well, there's some more back there. These probably would have been a little better about a week ago. So, but yeah, there you have raspberries. And right over here, if I can get you over here, we got some rose hips. So if you're into rose hips, making tea out of them or whatnot. But anyway, so you don't have to go very far. Sorry for the video here, let me fix my camera there. You don't have to go very far to find stuff. And I know this is Alaska, and so it's a little different. We have quite a bit of green belt in our towns, and I mean, there's actually sometimes more green than town, so which is a good thing. That's why we live here, right? So right here, okay, here is a currant bush. See if I can get you in on these currants here. So yeah, we have some currant bushes here. And oh, here's a good one right here. Let me flip the viewfinder around here so I can see this. But yeah, see all those. You can see all those currants. Okay, we saw the currant bushes. And then I want to show you apple trees. There's a lot of people with apple trees in town, and they don't eat their apples because they take a while. They don't sweeten up a lot. Oh, look at this. All right, look at this. Huge patch of, anybody know what this is? Yarrow. And pretty much wherever you have yarrow, it's been my experience, there it is. You have plantain. So the twin sisters of health there. So yeah, yarrow and plantain. And then if you're into it, right over here, you got dandelions. Everywhere you go, you got dandelions. Just a fact of life. So, but anyway, if you like dandelions, I think they're better when they're young and small, of course. And they can be pretty tasty as a green. Also, we're kind of past the chickweed season. We have a lot of chickweed here, and so again, when it's young and tender, it's pretty good green to eat. So, and there's a couple other greens. But yeah, oh, I was talking about apple trees. Got sidetracked. Yeah, the apples don't get really big, and they're not super sweet. They're not really like an eating apple, like a eat off the tree apple. You can, but so a lot of people don't eat them. They just let them go to waste. And I'll show you one here where all the apples have fallen on the ground. But they're really good for canning, so you can can them. You can make applesauce, great for applesauce. And can the applesauce, lasts quite a while, but you can slice them and can them and use them in all kinds of things. But the other thing they're really good for, here's my dog. Say hi, doggy. So apples, yeah, they're really good for drying. So if you like apple chips, who doesn't like apple chips, right? They're great, and they're healthy for you, right? So apple chips, yeah. So apple chips, yeah, you just slice the apples and put them in your dehydrator, your oven, and dry them up, and you got apple chips. And put them in Ziploc baggies or You can vacuum pack them, put them in the freezer, and they last quite a long time. But anyway, so yeah, and it condenses the sugar when you dry them. So even a not so sweet apple makes pretty sweet apple chips. So great. And the nice thing too with apple chips is, like, you know, those bruised apples that you don't really like to eat because they're kind of bruised and maybe not the best. So they make great apple chips too, because it doesn't matter if they're bruised or not. So yeah, it's a win-win. So don't waste your apples, just dehydrate them, make apple chips. And the other thing with apple chips that are really great, especially here in the north, gotta wait for my doggy. He needs the time to sniff, right? The dogs do. Is you crunch up the apple chips in your oatmeal in the morning, in the winter, and it's great. So there you have an apple tree, and you can kind of see that they're not using the apples. They're just letting them fall on the ground and going to waste. They probably don't like them or don't care for them. But there's another resource. You can talk to that guy and see about if he'll let you pick up his apples or get his apples, and you know, and there you go, free apples, right? So anyway, and then right up here, I don't know if they're still here, but the other day I was out walking my dog and I noticed these this guy had a nice crop of shaggy manes growing in his yard, and oh, they're gone. Yeah, they're right there by that birch tree. Yep. Well, what can you do, right? So if you don't pick them quick, there's a lot of people that pick mushrooms. All right, we're in the park here, and oh, look what we found. See if there's any left here. We got some watermelon berry that's all been gone. Yep. Oh, here's another one back here. The watermelon berries. Oh, look, there they are. The berries hide under the leaves. Oh, yeah. And they taste, I don't know, people say they taste like watermelon. I mean, it's not like juicy watermelon. These ones are a little dried up. But, yeah. So, little watermelon berry. Sweet. Yeah. Anyway, watermelon berries. And then we got our willows. In the spring, you can get spruce tips. There's some fireweed here. Oh, there's a little bit. But we have fireweed too. Fireweed is past its prime. And again, if you're going to eat the fireweed, it's bitter. A lot of people take the flowers and make jam. But the little leaves you can eat too. And but there's lots of wild edibles around town, so you just have to look for them, know what you're looking for, right? Is one of the keys. In the spring too, you can get fiddlehead ferns, and come on. But I guess I should say two cautions, right? Wouldn't be right without saying the cautions. Is one, make sure you can identify and know your plant 100%. So I'm not going to show identifying plants on my video, because I kind of think to really, you know, if you're going to do wild edibles, one, you should do your research. We have no excuse for not doing research nowadays with the internet and everything. Get a field guide and that. Get the pictures, everything's online now, you can look at that. But the other main thing I think is you should go with somebody who knows the plant you're looking for. And that way you have a kind of an expert opinion. So, because plants always look different than in the books. I've never seen a picture in the book that looks exactly like, you know, they look close. But, and then also it's the season too. Because they may have taken that picture at a different season when you're picking your plants, different light, different geographical regions. You know, even though it's the same plant, they can look different, you know, when you move around. I've noticed that with certain plants. So, but anyway, you should go with somebody. You should go with a professional or a person that, what do you call them? A know-it-all. But yes, you should definitely go with somebody and have them show you what it is, help you identify it, besides taking your field guide. Now, if you're going with a person, why do you need a field guide? Field guides are great for notes, because if you're like, if you know, you should be able to identify the plant summer, winter, spring, fall, because they look different, and so you need to make those notes. Your field guide will show you probably what the plant looks like when it's blooming, when the fruit's on it, but they don't always show you what it looks like when it's just coming out in the spring. And like that watermelon berry, it's real easy to identify when it's grown up like that. But when it's early in the spring, you can eat the shoots as well. So, but you have to be able to identify it without, you know, the telltale signs. So anyway, so that's a good thing is for your field guides is to make notes in them. But anyway, so I'm not going to show you how to identify plants, because I think you should be with a guide, with somebody who knows it. That, oh look, here we have some fungi. Tigger, let me get the shot. There's a nice fungus. It's cold. It's September, some more, and so I don't know if you can see my breath. Anyway, which is awesome because winter's in the air, and then we're gonna have some fun. Winter is the best, so cannot wait. But anyway, so it's cool, and I think it's pretty neat. But anyway, fungus, yeah. So there's so many fungi out there, and those are definitely one you need a guide with. You just don't look in a book. Make sure you go with somebody that knows it, can point it out to you. And the main thing is the lookalikes. If you can 100% identify the poisonous lookalike, then you can know that what you're picking is not the poisonous lookalike. So you should know the lookalike. But one other caution about foraging in the town is one, there's a lot of dogs around, obviously. So if, you know, dogs pee on everything, so that's always a concern. The other thing is pesticides and herbicides, is knowing what the people use. You don't necessarily know what they're using out in the wilds. You're not going to really have that problem per se. So, but in the town, you will. So you don't want to, you know. But anyway, like on my yard, I have raspberry bushes, I have a garden. I don't use herbicides and pesticides, so that way I know that the stuff I'm growing is good, is healthy. And so like yarrow, you can pick yarrow everywhere, but I picked some, I planted it, I raised it. Same with plantain, so that way I have it in my safe zone and it's not gonna, you know, have any chemicals in it. So that's an important thing. And the other thing to mention is private property, right? You just can't go in somebody's yard and start picking their apples or their fungus. You should talk to them. I mean, know your neighbors, right? Get to know your neighbors, talk to them. If somebody's not using their apples, go talk to them and say, hey, I'll clean up your apples, you know, if you let me have these. And, you know, or share with them, right? If you have something to share and that. So, and it works out for everybody. But anyway, that's my little video on, I shouldn't even say that. I'll edit that out. So yeah, you know, just learn what's around your town to eat. And it's kind of fun to go out and pick some edibles and you're not spending any money. And you're getting outside. That's the great part of it. So take care, everybody.